Hey everyone, welcome back to Nat Joe's Caffeinated Library. We're going to do a tag video today. We're doing the Judge a Book by its cover tag. I'll link below who originated it and the questions. This is a fun tag talking entirely about the covers of books, which can be so beautiful, but can also just be really bad. So we're going to get right into it. The very first question is to break the ice and talk about some of your personal favorites, why they're your favorites, and all that. So I have kind of a weird eclectic view of what I like in a cover. I either gravitate towards the super traditional, old school, like 1980s, 1990s high fantasy covers, or I gravitate towards the more artistic, simplistic ones. So it's kind of like a weird mishmash. But one of my all-time favorites, I picked this book just as a good representation, but honestly, I enjoy all of her classic covers, and that would be Anne McCaffrey's, like in this case, it's Dragon's Dawn. Yeah, Dragon's Dawn. The reason I really like these is that it tells a story. Like, it's beautiful art that continues back to the back cover. You look at that and you know, right off the bat, this is going to be about dragons. Like, there's no doubt in your mind. You can look at the cover, you can look at the artwork. It continues, it tells the story all on its own. And I really enjoy those old covers that do that because the cover sells the book. And so if I'm looking at this book, I know exactly what, well, not exactly, but I know pretty close what it's going to be about. And like, it's a journey just in looking at the cover because it takes you so many places. The more you look, the more it reveals. I really love this, I guess, old school way of designing book covers. I really enjoy it. Another one of my favorites is this series from Michael Gear, the Outpost series. I really just enjoy this because they're dark. Like the other covers in the series are just as dark. This was a really good just example because it's a pile of bones, and you're looking at that and you're like, why are there a pile of bones? It just, once again, it starts telling the story for you, and it starts making you ask questions. I also just really like the color theme, that it's just the dark blue, very masculine looking, even though the main character is definitely not. I just enjoy it. This is another one of my favorites. I just recently got this book. I squeed over it a lot. Check out that video of the Caffeinated Legends opening if you want to see me freak out. But the Shadow of the Gods. One, I like this because it's got a really cool dragon on the cover. I'll admit that. That's why it's called the personal favorite. But I also enjoy, like, the artwork is beautiful. I love the it's not really a minimalistic cover because, like, there's a lot going on. But it's also very simplified. Like, it's clear background. It's got just a big dragon, bold words. But the art, like, one, how cool is that dragon? And there's this little tiny dude that's so screwed. And then as you move the book around, it keeps the theme of being really simple, but so detailed in what's going on. So I really enjoy that one. And then this is about as minimalistic as I can get while enjoying a book and not being annoyed that it's too simple. And that would be the Obsidian Tower. Normally, I don't enjoy a book that is this simple in a cover because I don't know what it's about. Like, I can't, with the exception of this, which I love, normally a cover that's this simple, I look at it and I'm like, cool, what the hell is it about? This one, there's just enough detail and stuff going on with all of the castle and stuff that it was able to bring me in. Otherwise, I normally don't like a cover this simple. The next question is the absolute best cover that I own. And this one is really hard because there's a series that I own that I love and adore so much, and I love all of the covers so much. But of the series, this is probably my most favorite cover in the series, and that would be the High King's Tomb by Kristen Britton. And I love all of her covers, for the same reason I like the Anne McCaffrey covers, is it's got that old school storytelling vibe. It's beautiful artwork. The artist who paints these for her are amazing. The story continues around the side, and there's just so much to look at and see. And I love that it has the main character on it so that you can kind of get a visual representation like of what she looks like. So this is my all-time favorite cover of my all-time favorite series. The next question is the absolute worst book cover that you own. And like I said, this is only about the covers. And that would be The Red Scarf. I actually really enjoyed this book. This is probably one of the few fiction books that has absolutely no fantasy elements at all. It's a historical fiction book. But look how boring this is. Like, I get that's a theme, like it's called The Red Scarf. There's a big old red scarf on it. But look, talk about boring. Like, just look how just boring this is. You had so many opportunities. And that's what you give me? A snowy forest with a red foot? It's boring, and it was a lost opportunity. The next question is the coolest book that you own involving a weapon. Once again, I kind of had to narrow this down from a series. I've noticed in my books, a lot of my book covers don't have weapons in them, which is weird because with the fantasy genre, you'd think that'd be the case more. But I feel like I'm gravitating out of the medieval subgenre a little bit more. And so there's like less weapons involved, I've realized. But of my series, I have one series, the Throne of Glass series. Every single cover has a weapon. I think the one that I like the most would be Throne of Glass. I just like that she's got these really cool like assassin dirks going on in her hands. Like, talk about scary badass. I don't know. I like it. Oh, hang on. I just realized something. So the front of the cover is the front of the character, but then on the back, it's literally the back view of the same character walking through the little portal thingy. Like, it's the back of her head. That's the back of the blades. That's cool. All right. Hidden gems. I also feel like this is the best cover for representing what the character did. There's a couple others that were cooler, but I feel like it kind of lost track of what the character was doing. This was like the most, I think, honest representation of the character. The next question is the most unique cover that I have. I don't really have a whole lot of unique covers. There's nothing like about most of them that would set them apart. The closest I have is The Last Unicorn, mostly because it's bright ass yellow. Most of my covers fall within a pretty standard theme that we've seen already. This is like the one exception. So, that one. Okay, so the next one is we are judging the book, and it's to find a book that totally lived up to the amazing cover or the uniqueness of the cover or that the cover did the best job of portraying the book. And that one's got to be one of my newest all-time favorite authors. I'm so excited for her second book, but it would be The Bone-Charred Daughter by Andrea Stewart. Something about this cover it fulfilled everything I needed about the book. Like, one, it's freaking gorgeous. Like, just look at the detail that's in, I don't know if you can tell because the camera's dumb, but the amount of detail that's in, like, the buildings. You can tell that it's going to be set in a beautiful, like, Asian-inspired world, just with the, like, architecture in the buildings, and, like, you can tell that, like, the cover, Bone-Charred, you tell it, but, like, it looks like polished bone or ivory, and it's, like, got this cool key that you're wondering, like, how does the key play into this? And then, having read the book, the further you look, there's, like, this water and what looks like just, like, the water in the ocean is so important, and there's just so much about this cover that as you read it, you're just like, oh my god, it was perfect. It was the fantastic cover. It fit with the fantastic book. Everything about it was like A++. You did this one right. She relaunched it or did like a second edition or something where the cover is slightly different. And I guess the same cover, but there's like more red in it. Like the red from the spine is brought onto the cover. I don't remember how. I have to find a picture. And I want really badly to buy the book so that I can have that edition because that cover is really pretty too. But I'm trying to control myself. The next question is a book that I bought blind simply because the cover was great. And that would be The Queen of Blood. I still have not read this book. I don't even remember what it's about. But the cover looked really cool. Like, I really liked how it was the Queen of Blood, and blood, like the word blood is dripping in blood. It kind of implied to me like some sort of elven world because of the forest. I don't really know what it's about. I have no idea if that's the case. I liked the cover a lot, bought it, have never read it, don't have a clue what it's about. Next question is, show a book where the book was great, but the cover was so cringe. And that one, which is so sad because I've already talked about how great this author's covers are, but the mass reproduced paperback prints of her covers are shit. And that would be the original trilogy of Dragonflight. Like, the whole trilogy sucks. It's all, they're all like this. Like, what is this? What is this supposed to be? I know, contextually, that it's a dragon, because I've read the series, but what is this? What is this brown blob of stupid in this little teeny tiny box that doesn't show me jack shit? There's nothing on the back. The side, there's nothing. Like, what? Did you even try? Like, I could have photoshopped something better than this. So this is my cringy book. The original covers were glorious and beautiful. The mass paperback reprints are shit. And I really want to rebuy, like, an original, not original, but like just rebuy a better edition of these. But all of her shit is so old that most of it's out of print, and you can only get the mass-produced paperback or like the old, like the hard cut, this one, like with this one, or you have to buy it super used with like the library binding. So it's just a sad day. So the last question is, show off your really fancy editions, your fancy books, your cool holy crap stuff. I got two different books, 3 books though. This one is the J.R.R. Tolkien translation of Beowulf. I love the story of Beowulf. And then this is just, how cool is this? Like, it's so minimalistic, but I also just freaking love it. This is like the exception to the rule, I suppose, but I just love this. And I mean, Tolkien translated Beowulf. How cooler? How cooler? How much cooler could that be? The other one, I have 2 Les Mis books. I love Les Mis. If I could, I would have all the editions of Les Mis, but I try to have self-control. So the first one is just the complete unabridged copy of Les Mis. It's a monster. It's huge. The print is disgustingly small, but I love this edition so much. It's got their traditional. How many times can I say traditional in this video? Let's count. It's got the original picture of, what's her name? Cosette? Cosette? Yes, Cosette, the daughter. It has the picture of Cosette sweeping the floors, and it's just, everything about it I love so much. To bounce off of that, my other favorite and super fancy copy of Les Mis is this engaging visual copy. My wife found this on Amazon, and I'm so freaking excited about it. It's super abridged, obviously, but it's got these glorious pictures and illustrations in them of characters, of the settings. Like, how dope is this shit? It's the coolest thing ever. I love it so much. Yes. So those are my super fancy holy crap editions of books. Well, thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed my random dance down cool covers of books. Let me know what some of your favorite covers are. I know a lot of people really like that super minimalistic, like, what's it called? There's a book out there that's super popular right now, and I can't stand the cover at all. Oh, like the Poppy War and stuff. Like books in that style where it's super artistic, but like it tells you nothing about the story. I just can't stand them. Like, they're pretty. As a book cover, they don't work, in my opinion. Because they don't tell me anything about the story. But I can admit that it is a really cool picture. Just not the most effective book cover. So anyway, thanks for joining me on this one, and I will see you guys on the next one.